So your schedule's packed. You're taking a full load of classes and you're barely keeping up with the workload. You're not getting enough sleep and your boss just asked you to take on a few more hours of work per week. What do? Getting more while doing less. Increasing progress without increasing time spent. Maximizing output while minimizing input. These are all different ways of describing one very important thing: efficiency. You know, efficiency is not something that a lot of others talk about as it relates to your school and education. But make no mistake, it plays a huge role in your productivity and success in your classes. So what is efficiency exactly? Well, in its simplest form, efficiency equals output over input. So for example, like for a car, the efficiency would be the kinetic energy you're getting out compared to potential energy of the fuel going in. Okay, but what does efficiency mean as it relates to your school? Well, we got to define the output and the input, right? So let's define the output as progress towards graduation. So anything that gets you closer or more well-equipped to graduate. When we think about progress towards graduation, obviously we think about passing a class, doing well on a test, or maybe understanding some difficult material. But what I also want you to think about is eating well, getting enough sleep, stress reduction, and exercise. These things help you maintain a healthy body and mind, which then helps you perform in school. So they should also be considered progress towards graduation. Okay, so now let's define the input. It's pretty simple. Time, right? How much time you're putting in. So efficiency will equal progress towards graduation divided by how much time you're committing. So it will be the measure of how much progress you're getting for every hour you commit. So if you're able to increase your efficiency, that means that you get more progress towards graduation without committing more time. Hell yeah. So the question becomes, how can you increase your efficiency, right? Well, let's go through an example of two scenarios. Scenario 1, you spend 2 hours studying in the living room with TV on in the background. And scenario 2, you spend 2 hours studying in a quiet office with no distractions. Same 2 hours is spent in both scenarios, but which one do you think is the most productive? So of course it's scenario 2, right? With less distraction comes more concentration and more progress to you getting stuff done. So by studying in an ideal location, you're increasing your efficiency. You know, it's a pretty simple example, but I think a lot of students get caught up in how much time they're spending on their studies, when what they should really be looking at is how much value or how much progress they're making with the time that they're spending. So let's look at another super simple example of how to increase your efficiency, okay? So let's say you have 4 things that you need to get done: a homework assignment, a lab write-up, a quiz, and studying for an exam tomorrow. The points that are associated with those things: the homework assignments, let's say 10 points, the lab write-up's 20 points, the quiz is 15 points, and the exam is 100 points. So to be the most efficient in this situation, you would prioritize your list based on the impact it has to your progress, right? So you only have so much time to spend on this list of things to do. You want to make sure that every minute you spend gives you the maximum amount of progress towards graduation. So you would prioritize your list like test, lab write-up, quiz, then homework, right? In decreasing point value. By doing this, you're effectively maximizing your efficiency towards graduation. I realize there's, different situations, different classes have different kind of things that are important, but for the most part, you could prioritize your days that way. What gives you the most progress, most bang for your buck? Knock that out first, then keep moving down. So efficiency should really kind of become a mindset for you eventually, right? So it should become like a filter that you view everything through, trying to gain the most progress with the least amount of time and energy spent. So another example would be maybe riding your bike to school. So not only do you gain all the physical and mental benefits from the exercise, you save money because you save gas, and you might even be decreasing the amount of time it gets to school. So that's like a win-win-win, right? That's huge efficiency boost. Once you start to view your daily activities this way, I know you're going to find all sorts of places that progress can be harvested that you didn't really see before. But on top of that, I know you'll find all sorts of waste that maybe you didn't really realize was waste before. When you're driven by your one singular progress, right? Graduation, all sorts of things kind of become more clear. I hope you liked that video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos, and maybe leave a comment with your thoughts. And if you want to know more about how to develop and maintain an efficient lifestyle as it relates to school, make sure you check out my book. I'll put a link for that in the description. But until next time, thanks for watching and keep up the good work.